Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our regular council meeting. I'd like to begin this meeting by acknowledging that we are in the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe people in the Robertson-Huron Treaty area and wish to recognize the neighboring community of Dokis First Nations. While we meet today, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the importance of the lands which we all call home. We do this to reaffirm our commitment and responsibility in improving relationships between nations and to improving our own understanding of local Indigenous peoples and their culture. From coast to coast, we acknowledge the ancestral and unceded territory of all Inuit, Métis, and First Nations people that call this land home. So with that, I need a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda. Willie and Dean. All those in favor? Thank you. Any disclosures of pecuniary interests? Councillor Dave?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, through you. I have a pecuniary interest on 6.3.1 resolution to award a contract for landfill cover material. I submitted a tender for that contract.
Okay,
So
thank
I'll
you.
just step away.
Thank you. Any other disclosures? Yeah, you can stay till. Nice try. All right. There are no delegations tonight. So we'll move on to the reports under 6.1 General Government, an OPP Noelville Detachment Update. As you know, there is the OPP have informed us again that their intention is to close the detachment in Noelville that serves Sudbury East, Dokis First Nations, as well as Henvey Inlet. We started a campaign. The petitions are going really well. I spoke to France Gilina last night, and we have about 1,500 signatures. And because we have that number, she will be representing the petition back in the House, which then makes the Solicitor General having to respond to it. In the meantime, I had a meeting with the Sudbury East Chamber of Commerce with their chair, who happens to be Claude Bouffard, and with Jill Damour, who I guess is the executive assistant for the chamber, and asked them to start a letter campaign with the businesses. So we had a very fruitful meeting. They are just as outraged from a business perspective as the rest of the community is with regards to the potential closure. So I prepared for them some talking points. They are contacting all the businesses, speaking to them and asking them to submit letters. Now, the letters, we wanted them submitted to the commissioner, to the deputy commissioners, and the civilian commissioner. I forget her title. And so when asking for their emails, it became very challenging because I guess unlike other governments or whatever, we've been requested to submit all letters to the West Nipissing local detachment, where the inspector would then process them, send them off to North Bay, and then from there they would decide how to respond to them, and then I don't know where the hell they'll land, to be quite honest. So I think that's kind of a bizarre way of doing things. Even as I express my displeasure, I do have Justin Trudeau's email address, and Premier Ford. I know that they don't sit there and read all the emails, the thousands of emails. I know it goes to their staff, but for me, it means I know that office received it. Doing it the other way, I don't know if the office is going to receive it. And it's going to be received before their office has had a chance to look at it and say, hey, what's going on? And, I'm not a fool. I know that the offices from the federal government or the provincial governments, any governments, will then submit it to the appropriate detachment for response. But at least I know they have it. So just working on trying to get those addresses still. Thanks to our fire chief, he's getting the fire chiefs from the municipalities and from Dokies and from Henvey Inlet to also put something together so that they can explain the importance of having a local detachment here in Sudbury East. And so that'll be starting. We also have a couple of individuals who are spearheading individual letters from residents that will be submitting to as well to the commissioner, wherever it lands up to, expressing their displeasure with the possible closure. So that's in the works. That campaign should be in full swing within the next 10 days or so. And we're hoping from the business point that we get at least, 30 letters from the various businesses that service our area. I'm hoping for more. Well, my goal is 50. And I'm sure we can achieve that quite easily because I think business has a huge impact if the OPP is not within a reasonable amount of time to service them. And it presents a hardship for our tourists as well. If the tourists want to know that they're protected and they can feel safe in our communities, and without a detachment here, I'm not sure we can guarantee that. So, yes, Councillor Dean.
It seems to me that it would be a good idea if copies of all those letters were given to our MPP, to Frances Yellen, and because she could take them into Parliament and do whatever she thought might be the most appropriate way of.
Yes, that's not only a good idea, but it's already been worked out with FNAUS as well.
Okay.
She's also working at seeing why I can't get individual email addresses. So for the commissioner and the deputy commissioner. So she's been amazing. I have to say, been very pleased with FNAUS's support and her actions in supporting all of Sudbury. So it's been great. The other mayors are working on getting their petition signed, and they'll be working with hopefully the businesses to get the businesses in their communities to write letters. I already started receiving some already, so that's good. So I'm hopeful, and then once I get back from my vacation, then we'll see what happens from there. But we're not going down without a good fight, and so I feel positive we can make this stop. So. All right, any questions? Willie.
Madam Mayor, I'm just curious, you said there's going to be some people spearheading some residential responses. It seems to me that maybe the people who have seasonal properties here may be really concerned not having a police presence. And would there be any way to reach out to these individuals to maybe speak on their behalf and highlighting their concerns?
Yes, I have a couple of pretty high level seasonal residents who have access to emails of other seasonal residents because they all keep in touch. There's different groups in different areas of the community. And so they'll be contacted, and I have absolutely no doubt that they'll be reaching out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions? Roger, are you there?
Yes, I am. I happened to mention that at the meeting I was at this afternoon about the OPPs leaving. Now, one of the guys there told me that West Nipissing was also serving part of Sudbury. And I said, that can't be. But on the way home, about 4 kilometers before you turn off on 69 from 17, there was a bad accident. And guess what I saw there? Police with West Nipissing OPP on. on 17 heading towards Espanola or Lively. I mean, how far are they reaching? You know, and they say we can't have police force in French Alban, French River.
Yep. Well, that's the point, right? Because I know that at times, depending on the severity and the shortage of officers, that our officers are dispatched at times to Sudbury. Well, now if they're going to be located in Sudbury and located in Cache Bay, depending, there's 8 officers going to Sudbury, 2 officers going to Cache Bay. It's pretty seductive to, you know, if you have a bit of a shortage in Sudbury, just to send them there because they're physically there. And so, and that's my concern and our concern, that by losing this, our officers are no longer reporting to a detachment in Sudbury East. They're going to be reporting to a detachment either in West Nipissing or in Sudbury. And that's fundamentally wrong and does not provide the service that we need. So you're absolutely right. Any other comments? Okay.
Maybe a
Yes.
comment. We are meeting with the Sudbury East Chamber tomorrow night
All right.
in order to discuss OPP and reaching the businesses in the area. We are also have our SEMA meeting next week with the mayors, right?
That's right.
Online for Giselle, but so we will be discussing it there also. I've also spoken with Jérôme Cochine, who is the counselor in Manettville, but for West Nipissing. And he has shared the petition out there with the residents of Manettville and Wolseley Bay Road, and which are West Nipissing, but in French River.
Right.
Yeah, Dokes Road. So he has sent that out to the residents out there because they are still in our area and utilize the OPP services that we have here in town. So I did do that, and he did speak to I forget her name, but the mayor of Sturgeon.
Oh, Captain.
Yes, Kathleen. And so she is aware of it. And I'm not sure if she's going to participate at SEMA, but if so, I will try to have a discussion with her if I can.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Anything else? Okay, let's move on to our favorite subject, finance, which is tonight we are adopting our budget. And so I'll turn it over to you, Mark.
Thank you. We'll keep it short. This is a result of many meetings, prior meetings, and there's no changes to the budget from these meetings. So we're looking at a tax levy increase of 4.28%, which translates to roughly a tax increase of approximately 2% per roll for the taxpayers.
Yes, again, your staff you and your staff did an amazing job in putting it together, and an overall 2% increase is not too bad of a hardship considering how things are going. So need a mover and a seconder to adopt the budget. Dave and Bob. All those in favor? And just to bring it to date, is we're not just doing it, we've had about 8 meetings on this budget. So you don't think that we just do this like right like that. We're good. They're amazing in finance. However. Yeah.
Giselle, I'll just read the,
Sure.
so be it resolved that bylaw 2023-17 being a bylaw to adopt the 2023 operating and capital budget for the municipality of French River be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. 6.2.2, which council statement of remuneration expense, that's just a report that we are required to submit annually.
Yes, it's a report that has to be submitted annually to being in compliance with the Municipal Act.
Okay. So there, we don't need a resolution to adopt it or anything like that. I don't think so. All right. Now, Dave, you can go. So in your package, you will see under Public Works and Environmental Services that we have a few resolutions to award a few contracts. And the first one is the Public Works, the resolution to award the contract for landfill cover material. And the report is in your package. And Bob?
Unless you have any questions, it's pretty straightforward. It's something we do every 3 years. We use landfill cover on a regular basis. It's recommended to council, that council award tender 2023 to Davio General Contracting for an estimated amount of 200 loads per year for the amount of 108,000 over 3 years.
You?
So it comes out to about 180 a load.
It's pretty good. I need a mover and a seconder. Bob and Dean.
Be it resolved that council awards the contract for the landfill cover material to Davio General Contracting Incorporated for an estimated amount of 200 loads per year and for the amount of 108,000 plus applicable taxes over the next 3-year term.
All those in favor? Thank you. Let's move on to Recreation and Community Services. So we have a resolution to award the contract for the rehabilitation of the Alvin Community Center. Yay, finally. To you.
Again, we put tenders out. Well, we had an architect design and prepare everything. Tenders were put out and we finding out results. We had 6 general contractors put bids in. And we'd like to present the amounts. And is recommended to council to award the upgrades of the Alvin Community Center to DMC Electrical and Mechanical for an amount of 863,798 plus taxes.
Thank you. Just for your information, because you're new and you're here, we received a grant from the feds and the province to rehabilitate the Alvin Community Center, but it's been delayed for a few years, well, at least 2 years, because of COVID. The center was used as a vaccination center, so we couldn't repair it. So now it's finally coming.
We're ready to start.
When do we start?
When do we start? I can't talk to the contractor until this is awarded. So.
Okay. Okay. Well, hopefully very soon, right? Can't wait. Dean?
Just a question, does that include the generator, Bob?
That includes the generator. Yes.
Okay, good, thank you.
It includes everything inside the building and outside the building.
Excellent.
Is that not under budget?
It's still under budget.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what happens with the grant?
What about it?
Wasn't the grant for 1.2?
We have our share to put in. Trust me,
To put
by
in.
the time it's all done,
It'll be,
it'll be done.
okay,
Almost 300.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
Okay.
Mark? So I mean, though that part is 800 and some odd $1,000, there's still other stuff that we wanted to do that is not included in that.
okay,
Because that doesn't include the outdoor pad, right?
It does not.
That's what I thought.
It
And it
doesn't,
doesn't include the paving of the,
that's not included. In
that's
this.
what I thought. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where.
It
that's-
does not. This does not even include the appliances that we have to buy. So
Oh, that's right. Yes. Oh, God, yes. Yeah. Yeah. So trust me, that whole $1.1 million will be gone. Will be gone. Okay. I need a mover and a seconder to. Oh, Roger and Dave.
Be it resolved that council award the contract for the rehabilitation of the Alvin Community Center to DMC Electrical and Mechanical Limited for the amount of $863,798.71 plus applicable taxes.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. Under 6.5, Emergency and Protection Services, we have a resolution to award the contract for the new auto extraction tool. And I believe the fire chief is on. There he is. To you, Rock.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So during the 2023 budget deliberation, 70,000 was requested to purchase battery operated vehicle extrication tools for the fire department, which will be in the capital budget. These tools will be at the Station 2 in Albin, which will serve Highway 64 and mostly Highway 69. In 2021, the municipality issued a RFP for auto excavation tools. The intent is to be single source purchase with the same chosen suppliers as the former RFP was released. This is due because we already have purchased tools for Station 1, and we would like to remain identical with Station 2. So the budget implication is the amount of 70,000 was budgeted for, and we'll be able to purchase the battery operated vehicle extrication tool. The company is Code 4 Fire Rescue. Price was $66,975, and they have met all our requirements before.
Excellent. Thank you. Any questions for the chief? Okay, need a mover and a seconder? Willie? Dean?
Be it resolved that council award the purchase of battery operated vehicle extrication tools for the fire department to Code 4 Fire and Rescue Incorporated for an amount of $66,975 plus applicable taxes.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. There's no report for building and planning and development. There is no correspondence. So I need a resolution to adopt the items contained in the consent agenda. Renee and Willie?
Be it resolved that council approves the items in the consent agenda under sections 8.1 and receives the items under section 8.2.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. There are no notices of motions tonight? No. Okay, let's do announcement and inquiries. We'll start with Mr. Bob.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Last Sunday, the curling club here in Noelville had their final day of curling for the season. It was a great event. Everybody was quite happy. This Friday night, I believe it's this Saturday night, the Rapids are playing their last regular season game. Doesn't look good for playoffs. So it depends. To border anyway. So where I'm getting at, the season is drawing to a close for our arena. I think we compared to the last few years, I think we had a great season. Everything considered. And we're still working on Earth Day. We have a little meeting tomorrow morning again. So basically, that's it for me, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
I have nothing to add at this time.
Sorry, Roger, do you have anything? No, you're on mute, Roger. There you go. Any announcements?
Madam Mayor, is just a question I have going back to the OPP situation. Has anybody reached out to the Trout Lake Association?
Not yet.
Okay, I will try to set up a meeting that's in my ward. I will give them a
Okay.
call tomorrow and see if I can,
Letter from-
set up a meeting to discuss it.
That's great. That would be great. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Dean.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't have very much, but tomorrow we're having what the ministry calls the pre-freshet meeting. It's once again an online meeting, and I'll be attending on that at 9 in the morning. It's scheduled for 2 or 3 hours. I don't know how the heck it can take that long, but maybe it will. In any event, it's a beginning, and depending on what the weather conditions are like as we go into the end of May and on into April, they will start the conference calls when it seems appropriate, when they need it. So
Mhm.
I have no idea when that might start. And as I was saying earlier, Madam Mayor, I'm away for 2 weeks in the first 2 weeks in April. And sometimes some of those meetings will start then. I don't know whether Mark will be available to do that or
Why
not.
don't you send me the information and I'll make sure that either myself or Mel are on the call.
What I'll do is I'll contact the ministry.
Yeah.
I'll send them an email and ask them to put you on the list. as
Yeah, for
opposed
those
to
2
me.
weeks while you're
Yeah,
gone.
yeah.
Okay, and then we'll make sure somebody's on.
And what kind of a spring we're gonna have with water levels is kind of iffy. We certainly have got lots of snow, but how we get rid of that snow just depends on how much rain we get and when we get it. So if we have an easy spring where we just melt that snow away without a lot of rain with it, we shouldn't have any problems. There's quite a bit of snow in the upper parts of the watershed and with high water content too. I've seen that they send this stuff out to me and so there's not going to be any shortage of water. The big issue is how it's going to go. We hope for the best and I'll leave it at that. But I think Rock wanted to say something maybe.
Rock, did you want to say
yeah.
something?
Yes, so Dean, I'm involved with the pre-freshettes meeting also.
Oh, perfect.
So you'll be on the conference calls when they come, Rock?
Yes, I will be.
Okay, good.
Then you don't need me. Thank you.
Done.
Done? Okay. Dave,
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't have anything to announce today.
have any?
Just like Bob said, the Rapids have their last game. They are ahead by 3 points, so, and they are playing against Kirkland Lake on the weekend. So I believe if they win that, they guarantee their spot. And I think Kirkland Lake doesn't have any other games, so I'm pretty sure that they've guaranteed their spot. Am I wrong, Bob? Cochrane could still surpass them? Okay, so we're gonna hope that Cochrane doesn't surpass them and that the Rapids win on Saturday. Besides that, I think we need to give a big shout out to Julie Cartier from the French River Children's Club. She has done these neon glow in the dark skate-a-thons with the kids. And they were a great hit in the arena. I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures online, but it looks like the kids had a ball of fun with glow in the dark. So that was really inventive, the imagination anyways. She did a great job. April 2nd, there's the church bingo.
All right.
And there's also there's going to be the French River Children's Club is putting on an Easter egg hunt. I believe it's out here in the trail. So that'll be happening too. Yeah, they're going to be there. We have a walking trail in the back and they're going to hide the eggs in there and the kids are going to, I'm not too sure what the details are, but that is coming up. So something to look forward to. Health unit, I sent you guys a little blurb on my meeting, what we discussed there. You also got the minutes from the meeting of the health unit, pretty much details the basics of what happened. Our next meeting is in April 21st. So that's basically it. So if you guys have any questions about the health unit, you can always send me an email and I can try to answer or ask questions at the next meeting.
Thank you. Okay, and as for me, tomorrow, the food bank is open between 9 and 12 for people to pick up food. Also want to give a shout out to the library for putting on the March break program for kids. Since my grandchildren are here, I took full advantage of the program so I could get 2 hours off and so they could have a good time. And it was amazing. The programming was amazing and it wore them out, which was exactly what I wanted to accomplish. Also, I wasn't the only grandparent there. I met a few grandparents too that had their grandkids for the week. And so big shout out to the grandparents for taking on their grandchildren, giving their parents a break. And that's all I have. And now at this part of the meeting, since you're new, you get a chance to say anything if you wish, or ask questions within limits of the agenda. Within limits of the agenda. You have nothing? Okay. Well, it's very nice to see you. And we meet first Wednesday and third Wednesdays of every month. And we encourage members of the public to attend. And it's great. Oh, Bob?
Not sure council's aware, but half load is starting tomorrow.
Half load tomorrow? Okay,
Tomorrow.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, get your firewood in before tomorrow. Sure.
If we wanted to send a note to our campers,
Yes.
email French River site.
Yeah, you can email before we leave, once I close the meeting. I'll give you I'll give you my email address, and just they can send them to me, and then I can send them out. And if you give me your email address, I can probably better to exchange email addresses, okay? And we would appreciate that.
And just maybe to mention that anybody in the province of Ontario over the age of 14 can sign that petition. Yeah,
Yes.
14 and older. So all your friends, relatives, even if, as long as they live in the province of Ontario, they can sign that, because the OPP affects everybody that travels in our area. So
Would it
that's
be-
something that a lot of people don't know, but it's important
Yeah.
to tell people that, even if you're not from the area, you don't know when you're going to be driving by this area and you're going to need help. So it does affect everybody.
There have been some links shared on social media, Facebook, and it'll drill right into Frangilina's webpage. And right there's a where you can sign the petition and get your name in. So that link can be shared very, very
Absolutely.
easily with everyone that you were hoping to involve.
Yes, yes. Any questions, Carly, Mark, Mel? I know she's disappeared somewhere.
I'm still here, Madam Mayor. Thank you. No, I have nothing to add. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mel. Enjoy the rest of your holidays.
Thank you.
All right, I need a resolution to adopt the confirmation bylaw. Moved by Renee and Willie.
Be it resolved that bylaw 2023-18 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council of the municipality of French River at a meeting held on March 15th, 2023 be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed.
All those in favor? Thank you. I need a resolution to adjourn. Moved by Dean and seconded by Dave.
Be it resolved that the meeting be adjourned at 6:34 p.m.
Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for coming out and for watching. Good night.